So you think computer games are more exciting than old-fashioned toys? Maybe you should think again. With the help of the great British public, it's time to liberate them from the toy cupboard, supersize them, and unleash their true potential. This week, I tried to persuade a bunch of students to help me build one of the biggest Meccano structures the world has ever seen.
We want the bits and the final plans, and then we can get on with our job.
And on their sweepstake board, favourite scenario is that I fall into the canal and drown. I knew this was a great idea.
I soon realised just how difficult it's going to be.
Guys, everyone out the way!
I'm pretty devastated. It was perfect.
And will 80,000 toy pieces really be strong enough not to kill me?
God, it's made of Meccano, and it's wobbly.
Strips of metal with holes in. Gear wheels, pulley wheels, rods and shafts, something called a trunnion, nuts and bolts. You recognise it immediately as Meccano, the old constructional toy. Or is it? You see, I believe that this so-called toy, conceived in Britain when Britain was still an industrial superpower and Dad smoked a pipe, is in fact the solution to any mechanical conundrum the world can throw up. It is the essence of engineering in component form, the perfect domestic mirror to the manufacturing greatness that once defined us. You probably thought it was only good for making a rubbishy little crane like that. Prepare to be amazed.
People who love Meccano actually take it on holiday.
Skegness. According to the old railway poster, it's bracing, and it is. But there is a darker side to this famous seaside town. Skegex, the X-rated annual giant Meccano model exhibition. That's where I'm going.
Each year, hundreds of Meccano fans hoist their trousers high and sally forth to celebrate the wonders of this great British invention. Many of them are surviving Victorians, among them none other than Charles Darwin.
It's called a flying pendulum escapement. It was invented by an American in the second half of the 19th century for fun. It doesn't serve any useful purpose. It's just a piece of nonsense to amuse people.
Can you hear the clicking noise?
Yep.
That's when both gears are engaged at once.
And how long did this take you to work out and build?
Last year, although I've been working on these gearboxes since I was 20, 30 years ago.
Can you make anything mechanical out of Meccano if you think about it hard enough?
I think so, yeah. Well, the other clever thing is, you don't want it, if you're going backwards, you won't go backwards with a ratchet.
But there was a time when Meccano fans were cherub-faced youths. Today, this country's greatest Meccano authority is a man called Jim Gamble. Nervously, I approach his unremarkable house in Nottingham, where I'm led to the loft.
Still feels like a normal household so far.
You're surprised.
Ah, hang on. Up the ladder then,
Yeah.
presumably?
That's
Ah.
it, all the way.
Oh, my God. No, I wasn't expecting this. I thought you meant it was like a dimly lit attic full of old boxes.
Jim even has the pant-wettingly exciting number 10 set. Everything that was great about Britain in a big green box.
No, I've gone slightly faint. I've never seen one of these. It's fantastic. Oh, look at that. Why do they not make anything quite this exciting anymore?
I mean, it isn't a very anachronistic system, isn't it?
Well, it's a very old-fashioned toy. I remember somebody saying this to me once, that before the war, the world looked like Meccano. You had, you know, railway...
You've got it right. The principal thing is, Meccano is metal.
Yes.
Today's medium is plastic.
Yes.
It is mechanical. Today's medium is electronic. It's angular. Today's things are compound curves.
Yeah.
it's just, you take one of the bits and take it together and replace. These days, everything's replacement, bonded.
Yeah, sealed
So
units.
the whole thing is out of kilter with modern life, really.
So, Jim and I are in agreement. Meccano is brilliant, but it's looking a bit old-fashioned.
But that doesn't mean it's irrelevant, because it doesn't matter how enthusiastically we embrace the digital age, the world still depends on machinery. Take, for example, the differential, which you'd find in any car. Now, it's almost impossible to explain to someone how a differential works, but if you make yourself one out of Meccano, here's one that took me all night, you will understand it immediately. You will realise how it allows one wheel to go faster than the other when the car's going round a corner. You can sense the forces at work. You can feel them in the metal components. And you just don't get that with your Wii. The problem now is how to bring this box of bent metal into the 21st century. That's going to take something really big. I also need a suitable venue. That bit's quite easy, though. Hey!
Liverpool was the birthplace of Meccano, and Meccano played its part in the building of Liverpool. As Meccano's popularity exploded throughout the world, so did production. The success of this toy was the result of sound engineering principles. By standardizing things like hole spacing, shaft diameters and, well, the pitch of worm gears, Hornby ensured that Meccano could be endlessly dismantled and remantled to make an infinite number of models. And Binns Road is where Meccano was made.
In the 20s and the 30s, it was the biggest toy factory in Britain, possibly even Europe. And in its heyday, it employed 2,000 workers and about 400 or 500 staff, marketing and salespeople. It was a sort of cathedral to benign commerce, the Meccano factory. Is this it? Is that where it was?
Yes, on the right-hand side.
God. Thank you. I don't really know what's happened to Britain if something as fantastic as a Meccano factory can give way to a place where people preen themselves in front of mirrors.
With no permanent monument to Meccano surviving in Liverpool, I'm more determined than ever to find some poignant, local way to celebrate Frank Hornby's creation. A Meccano ferry across the Mersey would seem appropriate, but unfortunately, Meccano is full of holes and tends to go rusty. Anyway, they've already got one. But how about a bridge? Bridges were the first truly great metal structures, and until 1961, Liverpool had a transporter bridge, which really was just a giant Meccano model. Meccano is good for bridges.
The great bridges of the world changed the world. They encouraged human movement. They invigorated trade and commerce. They encouraged the spread of culture. And any new bridge cannot simply be an ornament. It must fulfill this vital function. And that brings me, rather neatly, here to the end of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal on the Mersey Pierhead, and particularly this point right in front of the iconic Liver building. Now, currently, if I want to cross from this side to that side, I have to go all the way down there and around. But a new bridge built here would completely transform Liverpudlian life. And that is what I want to do.
If I'm going to build a Meccano bridge worthy of this fine city, then I will need the help of a proper Scouser. Step forward, daughter of Liverpool, Edwina Currie, who really is from Liverpool.
What qualities should it have to be a bridge that speaks for Liverpool?
A bridge that speaks for Liverpool should have wit and energy and style and movement. It's got to be some movement in it, at least I think so. It can't be a boring bridge. It can't be the kind of bridge you'd have to build in Tunbridge Wells, say. All right? Liverpool has to have a bit of a joker in it. It's got to be a little mad.
Do the bits have to be niched from round the back of the factory like? Because I gather a lot of that went on.
That's a wicked thing to say.
To do Liverpool and Meccano justice, I've rallied 5 teams of the finest engineers, architects and Meccano geeks to pitch designs for a groundbreaking 21st century Meccano bridge. Helping Edwina and me make the tough decision is bridge engineer David Mackenzie. First up is Alistair Lenchner from Fosters and Partners with an ambitious and faintly bohemian plan called the Harlequin Bridge of Liver Love, a giant mesh tube made up from triangular elements built by the community.
And this is the Meccano DNA for the bridge. And it will be rolled up and formed a lattice tube girder bridge. And when James gets in the middle, the spirit of Liver Love will deploy its wings to show the wonderful Meccano plumage. But you can only do that if you successfully get to the middle.
I think it would look fantastic made out of lots of different coloured bits, but I just don't believe it would actually work.
Next up is Frank Smith from the Northwest Meccano Guild. And despite my pleas for something funky, he favours a return to the Victorian.
Having looked at the site, I concluded it had to be freestanding and therefore some kind of girder bridge. And I settled on the simplest of designs. This is a small-scale model using the Warren girder.
I always wanted a really modern bridge, because I think it would look good, but there's no denying that that's the one Frank Hornby would have built.
Economy of material is the theme being pursued by Elizabeth Stutzel and Angus Lowe of Arup. But their design looks worryingly like a bizarre high wire act, and I hate heights.
It's a bit like walking the plank, but actually it's a lot better than that.
Does it have a handrail?
I mean, I think that you can walk on that. It's so minimal, I think it's a sort of the bridge with no name.
What do you think of that?
It's doable, it would work.
Worth a treat, yeah.
I think it should have a handrail. I can't imagine why not, unless they really want you to fall in.
Well, yes.
So maybe there's a subliminal message coming from it as well.
From Atkins Bridge engineers, Adam Miller and Hayden Nuttall proposed something like a giant Meccano trampoline.
So with this particular bridge, it's entirely intention, and we tried to play to the strength of the material. So in a sense, it's a really taut structure, a bit like the strings at the head of a tennis racket. So we're quite confident that this would work.
It's a very exciting design.
It reminds me a little bit of that bridge in London, the Millennium Bridge, the little one, the one that bounced so much that people it had to be closed.
John Carroll and Josh Woods, students from Liverpool University's architecture department, seem determined to burn their bridges with a unique but completely mad idea.
We're here to introduce you today to the Bridge of No Return.
Do you want me to demonstrate the model? You'll walk onto this bridge. Your momentum and your weight will actually operate this bridge.
I know what's going to happen. Yeah.
So that you will stand on this end. As you walk, this is a curved structure. As you walk along this curved structure, your weight will end up pushing this down. This will come across now. As soon as you step back on here, the counterweight on this will make this pull back, and you will be transported across the river. And this will happen once only.
What happens if you're coming the other way?
You can't.
That is the reason we named it.
Hence the Bridge of No Return.
The Bridge of No Return, right.
It's funny.
It's lovely.
It's brilliant. It's just a wonderful idea.
10 out of 10 for imagination.
Absolutely.
But I'm not entirely convinced they could make it work.
5 great ideas, but one really stands out. Are we about to make a decision we'll regret?
Did you both like the student idea?
I loved it. I thought it was fun. It really was fun, and it met the brief, met every part of the brief. But
They gave the impression that they didn't quite have the expertise to make it work, and what they needed to do was actually a lot more complicated than they thought.
it's a good idea which could be made to work, but they need some help.
It's the product of drink, that idea, isn't it? I think that's fairly evident, which is good. I approve of that. They're students, they're young, they have hope. But what they don't have is knowledge.
I can see which way your mind's going.
Well, first of all, we'd like to thank you all for coming, bringing the designs. They're all, to some extent, viable. But there's one that intrigued us in particular, which is the architectural students with your daft Bridge of No Returns idea. Unfortunately, we don't believe it will work. However, we do think that something like it, or along similar lines, would work with the appropriate help. What we'd like you to do, if it's okay by those concerned, is if you would collaborate with Atkins and maybe work together to make an idea a bit like that work. How do you feel about that?
Ecstatic, to be honest with you. Yeah, delighted. So,
I think we're very happy.
I don't see why not.
You're the professionals, Atkins, and your reputation stands to lose more than the students because they don't have one.
So no pressure then?
None at all.
Liverpool City Council have agreed a date in just 5 weeks' time when I can take over the canal. So the pressure's on for Hayden and the students to devise a bridge that allows me to enter Liverpool but never leave. And there I'll stay, as the song goes.
So if we can imagine that we can make this out of Meccano, and we would sit it on the side of the canal. And at this point, James should be in the middle of the canal. I think something like that could work.
It's a bit of a balancing act, but...
It is a bit of a balancing act.
They decide to build the bridge in 2 pieces, a 29-foot swing bridge and a 46-foot bascule bridge. Bascule being the French for seesaw. As water is released from a tank at the end of the bascule, my weight should force this section down as I walk along it. The other part of the bridge should then swing into place, so I can step from one to the other and be transported to the other side. And to signify my triumphant entry to the city, I will then deploy Foster's Meccano bird of liver love.
You've got to be able to have enough.
While the design team tries to work it all out, I head off to pick up the building materials. My journey begins here at St Pancras Station, a building that might easily have been the spur to Hornby's genius.
The really interesting thing is that it's actually only made of a few bits. They're just repeated over and over again. And of course, a lot of things are made like that, but you can't see it. The point about the Victorian engineering was it was new, it was exciting. These were massive arches. No one had been able to do this before because they couldn't make the pieces accurately enough. So they wanted you to see it. They put it on show, and that made the world look like Meccano. The other good thing about this is it's still a station, and from here I can get a train all the way to France, which is ironic really, because Meccano, this fantastic constructional toy, this thing that's celebrated in the hands of youths what it was that made Britain so great, is now made in France, obviously.
Meccano was bought by the French in the 1970s. The original Liverpool factory was closed and production moved to Calais with head offices in Paris. As I'm going to need over half a ton for my bridge, I have some truly industrial scrounging to do.
I've decided to go straight to the boss. I'm coming to see the managing director of Meccano, part of the family that now owns it.
Since the French got their hands on Meccano, it has been gradually distanced from its origins, rather in the way the cheese and ham toastie morphed into the croque monsieur. MD Michael Imberg has some explaining to do.
Thing is, Michael, for me, this crane, even though it's very, very old-fashioned, this is what Frank Hornby was thinking of. If you made strips with holes at a fixed distance, you could make them into anything you wanted. And yet these days, if you don't mind, I've found this. So it's a radio-controlled car, and it also... sort of does...
I like a car with banging tunes, but the only construction involved here is attaching a few body panels to a pre-assembled electronic module.
The thing that's missing that I think made Meccano brilliant was the mechanisms, the gears and the chains and the teeth.
But the population changed a lot. The kids change. We need to be a little bit easier to build.
Easier? The whole point of Meccano is that it's supposed to be hard. It's meant to expand your mind. Honestly. Mind you, I quite like this thing.
Meccano robot.
And you can control this robot all over the world through the web.
Is it Meccano, though?
Yeah, it's Meccano. Meccano was the concept of toys of technological toys from the 20th century. And this one is the same concept, technological toys from the 21st century.
Michael agrees to lend me enough old-fashioned Meccano to build my bridge. After all, it's not as if he really needs it. I also blag a robot because I have a feeling it could be useful. I have to say, though, that I am slightly disappointed in the French. They really should know better. This was completed about 10 years before Frank Hornby came up with his revolutionary metal construction toy for children, and it might easily have been the inspiration for it, because it's made up out of standardised parts that were constructed off-site and then brought here and put together like a giant kit. And did you know that if you scribe a circle around the base of the Eiffel Tower and then raise it up to the height of the Eiffel Tower, then the mass of the air within that cylinder would be greater than the mass of the metal in the tower itself. And if you melted the Eiffel Tower down and cast it in an ingot the size of its footprint, it would be no more than about 100 millimetres tall. In fact, if each individual fact known about the Eiffel Tower were written on a piece of bog roll, Paris could wipe its bum for a month. I head back to Liverpool to meet my new workforce. They are students from the university's engineering department. They are young, they're optimistic, their minds have not yet been shackled to the stultifying conventions of the commercial world. And they're free. Here are the freshly printed plans. Haven't even looked at them yet. They've got a hell of a printer at this place, haven't they? What, it's that big? I'm sure I said I wanted that 500 millimetres wide, didn't I? Is it a deliberate policy to make me fall in the Leeds-Liverpool canal? It seems my bargaining technique hadn't been up to scratch. With limited Meccano, Hayden had managed the length, but at the expense of the width. It's quite narrow, isn't it?
One of those stools underneath the desk is pretty similar to what you'll be actually standing on.
Bloody hell. They're having a laugh, aren't they? The chances of me standing on that whilst it swings it's absolutely nil. Hayden and his team were still working on the design, but when the Meccano arrived, I couldn't resist the temptation to get going. Look at that. All of that is full of Meccano. More Meccano than you could ever dream of. That is a massive pallet full of Meccano being winched up into the sky by a crane, which was the very thing that inspired Meccano in the first place. And then when it re-emerges from that hatch in a few weeks' time, it'll be a bridge. Look at that. Massive. Right, there's your drawing, there's your Meccano. Carry on. See ya. The students now have just 4 weeks to build what is possibly the most complicated Meccano structure ever attempted. It will involve bolting together more than 80,000 pieces of steel strip. I leave them to it. I think they'll be fine. They're engineers, they're keen, they're intelligent, they're at a very good faculty, they've got the materials. I think I'll fall off it when it's finished, but the bridge itself will be good. Meanwhile, Hayden is trying to find out if Meccano is actually up to the job. Can a toy bridge really take the weight of a fully grown boy such as me? Unsure even himself, Hayden decides, unwisely, to take Meccano testing into the arena of comedic stunts. That's my car. It is. Are you proposing to lift that up with bits of Meccano?
Well, that was kind of the idea. We're hoping that it'll carry the load.
You do know this is my favourite car?
Your favourite car?
Yes.
No.
Of all the cars I've ever had, this is the one I like the most.
Ah.
Right, go on then.
You sure?
Yeah.
John, do your stuff.
As a test of how confident you are, let's take those chains off
but if the car falls off, you have to buy me a new one.
John?
Look, that is only Meccano. If the Meccano breaks, the car gets it. Why is that one quivering in an alarming fashion? I don't suppose anyone's ever done this before, have they? This is the only Porsche 911 in the world ever to have been lifted up by Meccano. It's very impressive. As a result of that frankly stupid and insulting experiment, I now believe in Meccano. I believe in it this much, look. Good. Down.
Meccano might be up to the job, but are our designs? My decision to start building before the drawings were signed off looks like it might backfire. And my students are already becoming militant.
It just looks like they've got a lot of stuff going on in the same place, and they haven't thought about how it's all going to connect together.
I don't think the plans are correct, to be honest.
It's been kind of a real struggle to just get everything managed to fit together properly.
It's maybe my first and last experience with Meccano.
Threatened with an all-night vigil sit-in boycott, I put in an appearance.
Students. That's a lot of Meccano. I was expecting more of a bridge by now.
Well, we haven't got half the parts.
You've only what?
We've only got half the parts.
What do you mean you've only got half the parts?
Well, we're still waiting on like a delivery from France, apparently.
There are some bits you haven't got.
That's right. Yeah. That would be the bottom line of it.
What bits?
On these sections here, where you've got a few intersections of these bars, there's going to be an extra plate, but Meccano don't actually even make that plate, so the stuff that we've got on order's not come yet, and then we're going to have to manufacture our own plate for certain parts.
No, you can't manufacture your own bits of Meccano.
Well...
It's not Meccano.
Well, that's what we've been told to do, I'm afraid.
Well, by whom?
Engineers.
The engineering design firm.
You're going to be in Meccano.
I'm overruling the engineering design, but you can't put bits in it that aren't Meccano, otherwise we'll be standing there saying...
You say it would be cheating to weld certain points, because that
yes,
would
would
help as well.
I know it would, but you don't get welding equipment in a Meccano set.
What I like about students is their unflappable youthful optimism.
Possible failure modes sweepstake. So the... Right, so the failure is James thrown into dock. Architects get it right. Sabotage. Well-known engineering firm gets it very wrong. Bridge gets stolen. Well, you don't actually believe it will work?
We want the actual final plans. As soon as we get them, without any
We want the
changes.
bits and the final plans, and then we can go on with our job.
So let's just get this right. The design isn't actually finished and isn't going to work as it is. They've put a load of it together that they'll have to take apart again. Some of the Meccano hasn't turned up. They're talking about using bits that aren't strictly Meccano to build it, and on their sweepstake board, favourite scenario is that I fall into the canal and drown, with even odds. There you go. I knew this was a great idea. I said we should build a Meccano airship, but as usual, nobody listened. Meccano Bridge my arse. There's a perfectly good reason why there's never been one of those.
It's time for a long, deep draught of the Entente Cordial. Calais, home of the present-day Meccano, is but a pleasant train ride away.
This is the last bastion of proper metal Meccano. This is, in fact, the last outpost of Frank Hornby's once proud global empire. This is where Meccano became Meccano. Bonjour, monsieur.
Hey, he's got my Meccano. Is that Port Angleterre? Oui?
Yes.
Hey!
Merci.
Très bien, monsieur. As quick as you can, please. Tout de suite. Get on with it. Hey, kom Ed. What's rather marvellous about this is that the processes for making the metal parts would not be particularly unfamiliar to people who worked in the Liverpool factory maybe 50 years ago. The presses are a bit more modern, or maybe a little bit less old-fashioned, but the tools themselves, the metal dies that are actually stamping the holes, a lot of those came from the Binns Road factory. This man is making an actual component for our special Meccano order. So far, he's only punched the holes on the sheet steel that's fed into his press. But later, he will put a different tool in there, and then using the same press, he will form the right angle in it. And then it will become the familiar angle girder we know and love, and have loved for over 100 years. This is great, it's like being at a rave. Yeah. Give me more Meccano. Woo! I discover the point of the modern Meccano robot. I can use it to monitor insurgent undergraduates remotely. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. What are you doing?
Putting the bracing on the bascule bridge.
Are you doing all the nuts and bolts up nice and tightly?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. There's no stopping the robot once he gets going.
Mr. May, I'm fed up with you. I've got cuts all over my hands from this Meccano, and now I'm going to put you in the bin. I'm going to sit you in here with this Meccano where you belong.
But with under 2 weeks to go, we're still hopelessly behind. So I'm on the scrounge again. I need Ian Mordew and his chums in the North East Meccano Guild to come to the rescue like a Meccano cavalry. The only way we can finish it in 12 days' time, which is what I need to do, is to recruit the help of people who understand Meccano, which means you and your guild mates, I'm afraid.
Well, we do it as a hobby, so whether we do it building a bridge or building a crane, we're equally happy.
Will you do it?
We certainly will, to the best of our abilities.
Good. And I stop poncing around in France and dig out my vintage spanner as well. Well, you might think this is just a simple matter of doing up a load of nuts and bolts, which it is, but when they have to pass through 4 sections and a washer trapped in between them, it becomes immensely fiddly and time-consuming. They will be very pleased because it means they don't have to do this bit.
Absolutely, yes.
9 days later, and the Meccano Guild deliver their sections. It's a great relief, until James makes a terrible discovery.
These are should be 4 thick and these should be 2 thick.
Oh, God.
Which means gutting.
The Guild hasn't put enough gusset plates in, and whole sections will have to be rebuilt. So you've got to take off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 nuts and bolts to take that out.
Possibly a week's worth of work there.
But we haven't got a week.
Nope.
That this bridge won't actually be finished in time for Sunday would seem to me to be, as the chief engineer of the Titanic would have put it, a mathematical certainty. If I work out how many people can work on it physically at the same time, and how many bits need to be bolted together,
and the fact that it needs to be tested and a handrail needs to be made and the liver bird of love needs to be constructed, it simply doesn't add up as a simple piece of arithmetic. I just genuinely, no false jeopardy for telling who will they do it, I really don't see how it's possible.
When I told Liverpool Council I'd look a right tit if we had to cancel our event, they took pity and agreed that we could delay our bridge opening. Time to rally the troops for one final push.
Men, women, you stand alone. Stop laughing. There are people who are saying this bridge cannot be built. They are saying that Meccano is a mere plaything whose time has passed. However, and on the contrary, I believe we are about to see its finest hour. Anything else that you achieve in life will forever be in the shadow of this great bridge and the one that it casts upon the world. Crikey, that's quite high. And that may be a bit of an exaggeration, but it's quite a good bridge. I give you 1 week. Carry on, and Godspeed, your spanner.
So, with some extra time, but still more than a third of the bridge to build, the students get stuck in. And before heading back to London, even I stay late into the night to make it happen.
The weird thing is that although lots of things are not going entirely according to plan with this Meccano Bridge, I actually find myself very happy being here on my own doing this. My mind has become instantly emptied of all other cares and burdens. I'm very happy just doing up some nice shiny new nuts and bolts. Look at this, there's a load of drugs down here.
6 days later, while relaxing in the jacuzzi, I suddenly get the news I've been waiting for.
It's finished, apparently. I got the phone call last night just as the deadline expired to say, come and see your bridge. So here I am, and I'm quite excited about it. Morning.
Hi, James. Morning.
Morning.
Hello, James. Morning.
Morning. Wow, look at that. I like it.
Impressive, isn't it?
It's not bad. This is where I stand. It's a bit bendy.
It'll be okay.
Have you done it all up tightly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well done. Show me the other bit then. God, bloody hell. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Was it worth it?
It's a life-changing experience. We'll never be the same after this now.
Can't hear any loose bits.
We've had it outside, we've had it lifted on the crane, we've had it tested, and it went okay. We brought it back in and there wasn't really much loose, so
it's
hopefully...
vibrating on the lorry though, isn't it?
That's the only problem, really.
About a 3-mile journey down there.
Can we agree something between now and tomorrow when the crossing is complete? Can you all stop using the word hopefully? It's not an accepted engineering term.
It's fair enough.
The bridge may be complete, but we now have to transport this 75-foot monster across Liverpool to the pierhead without damaging it for its grand unveiling tomorrow.
It is weird to think back to that pallet of boxes arriving. That's all those bits, all bolted together, thousands and thousands of them.
It looks a lot more daunting when it's actually upright, as opposed to lying on the ground.
Yeah.
What are your impressions on seeing it for the first time then?
Oh, it looks fabulous. It's a thing of beauty, but also a very technical statement.
It is.
It's not flim-flam, it's a piece of metalworking.
I'm really, really proud of this bridge. Just looking at it, my heart fills up with pride. It makes me so happy to see it. I'm really, really pleased with what we've achieved.
To be honest, I'm surprised we're at this stage now. It's total, I'm shocked we got this far.
The bridge heads for the canal.
Watch your hand.
If you lift it on top,
and then slide it forward to probably about here.
At the canal, Hayden and his team are fitting the giant water tank that acts as a counterweight on the bascule. But mechanising the swing bridge is proving tricky.
See, that works nice there.
Electric motors are soon the least of our problems. As the bridge sections are finally hoisted into position, disaster strikes.
Guys, everyone out of the way. Everybody flat. Right, just pop it down on the ground. Forget about the timber for the moment. Let's get the weight off it. Guys, the sooner we get it down, the better. The first thing we want to do is get this tank off, and then we can assess the damage then.
It got lifted into the air, it was top heavy, and then once it started to go, it carried on in it, hit the ground, full force, and it's bent quite a lot of it. Lower members all need to be replaced now in the back half.
I'm pretty devastated. Like, it was perfect. I don't know. Everything was going so well, and it's going to take hours to fix it. And gutted.
Everyone's a bit downhearted. It's just, what can you do?
Well, the good news is it's affecting the back, and the back is the least important part.
Yep.
So I think we can reattach these, knock it back into shape, and I think we'll still have a bridge. This time tomorrow, James, you won't even know.
It was nearly a disaster. Maybe we took our eye off the ball because we had such a good day and everything had worked well. So, yeah, I'm gutted, but I'm also optimistic that we still have a show, we still have a bridge, and it'll still work.
Now, that actually looked like more of a disaster than it was, because the Meccano structure is extremely strong and quite flexible. Of more immediate concern, though, is that the man who was operating the crane when that happened is also the man in charge of my safety harness tomorrow. Well, my students and my crane operators have been working through the night to prepare the Bridge of No Return, including a few last-minute repairs. And really, once they have it in position, it's all up to me, really, not to let them and this magnificent city down, because I'm scared of heights. But anyway, let's see what happens. I might go and have a scotch.
Hiya, sweetheart.
Most excellent daughter of Liverpool. What do you think? That's in its tipped position, obviously.
Are you actually going to walk across that?
Well, supposedly, yeah.
It's not very wide.
No, it's not. I have to wear a safety harness anyway, because the water's not as deep as we thought. So if I fell in, I'd break my neck. It's elegant, though, isn't it? Look at the shape.
Beautiful.
Look at the way it sparkles in the early morning sun.
Absolutely lovely. I tell you what, it's so Liverpool.
Is it?
It's kind of slightly mad, very beautiful, completely different from anywhere else.
It's a bloody daft idea, really.
Yeah, that's great. And if it works, so much the better.
Terrifying, really. How can it possibly work? I think I saw a bit fall off just then.
Last night I was pretty depressed last night after it. It looked a mess, and I was like so downhearted, but we sorted it out and I'm a lot happier today. I don't think anything will go wrong. I can't see what could go wrong, but there's always an element of risk.
This is it. 80,000 pieces. 2 months of bolt tightening and blasphemy. They are about to be put to the test. Me too, as I make the historic crossing to Liverpool to bring the liver bird of love to life. Because I'm scared of heights. Have I said that?
James, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Behold, the Meccano Bridge of no return. Why make a bridge out of Meccano? Well, it's because Meccano is Liverpool. Meccano is one of Liverpool's most famous sons, up there with John Lennon and that other bloke. But there is more. For too long, for too many generations, this canal has seemed like a hideous rent in the very fabric of Liverpudlian society. Well, today, I hope that that divide will be bridged. Are we ready?
Yes.
I am putting on helmet cam. Right, Terry, open the tap, sir. And with that, the water begins to drain from the counterweighted tank, allowing the bascule, the tilting half of the bridge, to begin tipping. Thank you. I knew I was nervous. Oh, God.
Start again.
To begin tipping into position. I can feel some movement. It's not in the bridge. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm chuffing terrified, everybody. I'm not very good at heights. I get vertigo, but it's fine. Come on, bridge.
Come on, bridge.
Let's
go. Steady. Oh.
I changed my mind. I don't want to go to Liverpool. I always like Manchester. I shouldn't have said that. The crane driver's a Scouser. Right, here we go. A bolt's just fallen off.
Look at the liver building.
What?
Look at the liver building.
I'm looking at the liver bird.
This way.
Will it snap, ladies and gentlemen? Is the crane moving with me? I'd hate to fall off because of the health and safety device.
You're doing fine, James. Keep going. Head up. Don't
God, it's made of bloody Meccano. And it's wobbly.
You're doing all right. Keep going. Keep going. Go on, James. Go on, boy.
Oh, it's very bendy.
It's only you shaking. It's not the bridge.
No, it's the bridge. Swing, swing, bridge. Come, Ed, swinging bridge.
Keep smiling, James.
This is looking very good.
Yay!
How's that? Release the tap, swing the bridge. Whoa!
Head up, shoulders back. Be proud.
Bugger off. This is not about me, it's about Meccano. This is the wobbliest thing ever made in the world. Okay.
Go on, James!
Oh, it's too wobbly.
You're doing it.
Edwina. Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. Hang on, it's not finished. Wait. Hello, Liverpool! it. To be honest, if you want a bridge across the Leeds-Liverpool Canal in front of the Liver building, that's not the answer. I'm sorry about the wobbly bit at the end.
That's all right.
But actually,
Gave us something to laugh at.
the crane was making me wobble more than the bridge was.
Yeah, you can see that.
It keeps pulling me about. But I thought it worked fantastically. Alignment was good. They were both level. The bascule tilted perfectly. Didn't deflect.
Couldn't have gone a lot better.
Oh, really? Well, I was very impressed, and thank you for your project management.
Thank you very much for making it proud.
And I'm sorry about the slight mishap yesterday.
I was surprised it went so smoothly, I have to say. Were you?
No, not really. I always thought it would work. Why wouldn't it?
I thought that was absolutely wonderful. I
It
really
worked.
did. It worked. It was beautiful. It was genuinely scary. I know it was wobbling because you were shaking. It was nothing to do with the wobble of the bridge at all. But even
No, it
so,
wasn't. What do you mean?
I have butterflies for you. I thought it was awesome.
What a result. Liverpool has shown that Meccano still deserves a place in the toy boxes of today. And like the Victorians before us, we've proved that with nothing more than some steel, self-belief and an exploited, underpaid workforce, it is possible to create a mechanical marvel to be proud of.